Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Dan, and I'm going to talk about how I've been surviving this drought in the UK as a garden maintenance exterior cleaning company. So if you are based in the UK and you've got your own garden maintenance company, or if you're just in the UK, you'll know that the weather has been absolutely baking for so long now, and it's posed some real challenges for us garden maintenance businesses. Actually, as I walked out the house to do this video, it did actually start spitting, but it stopped straight away. So it must have rained maybe twice in the last 8 or 9 weeks. Let me know in the comments if that's an exaggeration, but I don't remember feeling any rain on my head in such a long time. So how have I been navigating it? How am I actually still working when the grass is like this? Because I'm not cutting a lot of lawns, guys, I've got to be honest. I do have a handful of customers who love the gardens, they're out watering it all the time. Went and cut one today, I had to trim it down because it was so long. But the vast majority of people, they're not watering the lawns. So they're looking as dead as a dodo. So thankfully, I decided not to build my business solely on lawn mowing. So a lot of my customers have other things going on in the garden. So I can do general garden maintenance on most visits. Most visits I'm doing hedge trimming, I'm doing weeding, I'm doing border work, shrub work, all that kind of stuff. So if we have times like this, I'll just switch to doing that and I'll leave the lawn alone. There's enough work there for me to be cracking on with to earn, a decent amount of money. I'm also going to talk about month-to-month figures since starting the business again in March. So you can get an idea of what you can expect to earn month to month from a standing start. It wasn't completely standing start because if you've watched my previous videos, I had the business running now for about 3.5 years. So I've got lots of reviews, social media profiles, Google business profile, all up and running. So I have got that, but I didn't have any customers in March and I've built it all back up again. So I'm going to talk about how that's gone and what you can expect. But yeah, just about navigating the drought. If you are starting or looking to start a garden maintenance business, I'd just say don't just be a mow, blow and go company. You can make a lot of money doing that, but you'll have periods like this where if you've got say 60, 70 customers who you just go in and cut the lawn, you might have quite a big drop off. The customers who I do usually just go and cut the lawns, they have had me doing other things as well because I've communicated with them, and they wouldn't be having me there cut the lawns if they weren't wanting their gardens maintained anyway. So 9 times out of 10, if you just communicate with people, they'll have you in there doing all sorts of things in the garden because they want you there. They want the garden looking good. Previously, when I was in the business, I was more of a lawn maintenance business, and I used to leave the borders and all that kind of stuff until the winter, and customers were fairly happy with that. But I wasn't 100% happy with that because I was leaving people's gardens, other than the lawns, looking a bit tatty, and sort of leaving them until the winter to really get onto it. And this year I feel like I've just built the business back better. I'm doing things throughout the year and keeping gardens looking tidy all the way through the year, which has been brilliant. So just to talk about my figures since starting back. So in March, I started back around the 15th of March, so around halfway through. And just get out of that wind before I lose my hair. So I started in March around the 15th, so about halfway through. And it was quite a slow start, I've got to be honest. But at the end of the month, the turnover was around £3,500. So having started back without any customers before March, I was really happy with that. And then April was stronger still. So we did about 4,000 turnover in April. And then in May, June and July, we hit 5,000 in May, 5 and a bit thousand in June, and 5,600 in July. And we should hopefully be on course to do about 5,000 in August if I keep the inquiries coming in. Now, about 3 weeks ago, I should say as well, I have invested heavily in my business. So I do have a lot of the best tools. I use Ego battery tools for my trimmers, my hedge cutters, my pole saws. I use Masport mowers. I have still blowers. So, you know, I do heavily invest in my business. So that has to obviously come off the bottom line, but I think you need to have a good setup to be able to do good quality work for people. And I put a lot of emphasis in being efficient, and those tools help me be really efficient. One thing I did notice is that about 3 weeks ago, because I was so busy, I turned my Google ads off. So I started doing Google ads this year and turned my Google ads off, thought I'm really busy. Then the drought really kicked in. And I was thinking, why am I getting no inquiries? I've gone from getting sort of 3 inquiries a day to maybe 3 inquiries a week. And I was putting it down to the weather, but obviously I turned my Google ads off. As soon as I turned those Google ads back on, I've been getting like 2 or 3 calls a day roughly. So the Google ads have massively helped supercharge the business this year. So yeah, if anyone wants to learn more about Google ads and how to do that, how to set it up, and even your Google business profile, drop me a comment down below, and I can maybe do a video on that as well. So yeah, it's been a really strong start to the year. That's how I've navigated the drought. And let me know in the comments how you guys have been getting on. If you're watching this hoping to start your own garden maintenance company, let me know in the comments. I also, as you can see, have started a YouTube channel to document my journey. I also have a full step-by-step video course to help people start their own business in the garden maintenance, and even just any general service business like dog walking, carpet cleaning, window cleaning. The course is built for you if you're a beginner. And I'm going to make that course free as well for anybody who wants it. It's going to be over, but it is over 2.5 hours, around 2.5 hours in content. So if you want to grab that course, just comment below, help me or something like that. And I'll drop the link in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. But yeah, stick with me guys. I'll be bringing loads more content. I'm brand new to the YouTube stuff, so sorry if it's a bit rusty. I hope you're enjoying it so far, and I'll see you on the next one.